Something insane is about to happen with YouTube. And to illustrate that, I want to take you back to when I was about 10 years old. At the time, I was put to bed and I was thinking that this life was not what I wanted. At 10 years old, I was lying in bed thinking, okay, so tomorrow I have to go to school, and when I've eventually finished school, I'll get some holidays here and there, and then I'm going to have to happen to go to work, and then when I go to work, at the end of that, I'm going to be retired, but that time I'm old, and I won't have the energy to do what I want to do. And this was me at 10 years old, and I was feeling miserable thinking about that. But the truth is, there was no other way. And I remember that this thought was not a one-time thing. It was happening over and over, and I was feeling miserable. And obviously, I was happy at some other times, but from time to time, I was thinking about that. But since there was no other path, I went to school and, go through studies and stuff like that. I wasn't a particularly good student. In fact, I was probably the other way around, but I was trying. And then I went to get a normal job, and I was going to get to a job that was a good job. It was an office job. I didn't want to work outside, and getting that job was a good thing that could happen. And it was a sunny day. I was sitting at my desk at my job, and I got a text from a friend who was self-employed saying, "Do you want to go out and ride some bikes today?" And they were nearby. It was friends from a few hours. It was friends who lived quite far away, but they were close to where I was working. And I had to say no because I was at my job and these people were self-employed. And this really hit me hard because I was at this job. I had these thoughts again over and over coming back. And I was still at that job having the same situation. It was a sunny day and I couldn't work. I couldn't go out with my friends. I couldn't go and ride some bikes with them. And I felt terrible about that because all my life I was thinking, what can I do to make this different? But eventually I just followed everyone's path. And so I kept working at that job because that's the way it was. And eventually that company went under. So I got laid off and I didn't have a job. So I thought this is my time to start doing something that I really wanted to do. And I tried a lot of different businesses because I knew for a fact that I wanted to be self-employed. So I started to do drop shipping. I started to do apps. I tried making apps for the phone. I tried all sorts of different things and doing some other odd jobs out there because that's all I could do. I wasn't making money with any of these other opportunities. And plus, even though I was self-employed, I didn't really enjoy what I was doing for the most part. I was enjoying making the apps, but then they flopped. And the dropshipping thing wasn't really a good thing, but I documented what I was doing. And I thought that this was really something I wanted to do. I wanted to document something and be able to help other people online and talking to a camera. And it doesn't feel comfortable talking to a camera, but at 36, I think, when I started this channel, I thought, okay, let's go right from the beginning. I want to share my story about what I do, how I'm going to grow on YouTube. And I'm going to start from zero. It's going to be from the ground up, and I'm going to eventually be able to do something with that. And I started documenting my journey, and because I was doing that, I was also researching on YouTube what I liked, what videos I liked, and what I didn't. And it turns out I hated the videos that were overly edited. Some people like them, especially younger people. But I was already 36, soon to be 37, so I thought this, I don't like this, and most people at my age and over will probably not like this either. and I ended up watching videos about people or of people that were making more money than the overly edited videos, had less subscribers, but still were making more money because they were teaching something. They had a connection with their audience. They were truly trying to inspire the audience. And I know that the younger generation are really into being on social media. They want to make a living of social media. They want to be an influencer. And I think that that's a great thing, but they're doing it the wrong way. These people that are making overly edited videos, as I was saying, they have millions and millions of subscribers, and yet they don't make enough money to pay rent. On the other hand, there's people that have 1,000 subscribers, 3,000 subscribers, and are making tens of thousands of dollars a month. And on top of that, they're working less, and the work that they're actually doing is impacting a lot more people and impacting the people in the right way. They're helping in some sort of way. In my case, it would be helping other people build a YouTube channel and help them start a YouTube channel. Hopefully, inspire you to do something. And some other people, it can be gardening, it can be business, it can be all sorts of different things. But if you're having a video that's just entertaining people, travel vlogs, etc., you would have to have millions and millions of views all the time in order to make this work and to be able to pay rent. But you're not even helping that many people. Sure, it's enjoyable to watch once in a while, and some people really enjoy that, but it's really a cut from their life. And instead, I want to get people to enjoy their actual life more than when they started. And I think that's the big shift that's happening on YouTube. Is there's going to be less and less people that are doing overly edited videos, but instead some people are going to share either their journey or what they're good at, and that's going to help them build some businesses and help other people improve their own lives. Because when I was a kid, when I was 10 years old and I started having those thoughts, I didn't really have any options. The internet wasn't really a thing back in the day. But now, everything is happening online. Everything is on social media. You can learn anything. And if you don't know, you don't have any skills, then you can learn one. In my case, it would be YouTube. I'm learning YouTube. I'm sharing everything that I know about YouTube, and that's going to help a lot more. So I would love to know what do you want to do with your YouTube channel? Do you have a YouTube channel? But also, what do you want to do with it? Who do you want to impact? And do you think that raw content is going to be the way to go? Let me know in the comments for that. But also, YouTube is very, very good at finding out what people want to watch. And YouTube thinks that you should watch that video. So I would highly recommend you to watch that video because one, it would help me, and two, it would help you. And that's everything that I want with this YouTube channel. So let me know in the comments about that.